Minor planet Pluto is in the Kuiper Belt, which is an area of frozen planets beyond the orbit of Neptune. There could be millions of these frozen objects in this faraway part of our solar system. Hello viewers, in this video we will talk about the recent images of Pluto. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates. Let's get started. Pluto is a small planet in the Kuiper Belt, which is a region of frozen planets beyond the orbit of Neptune. These frozen planets are usually called trans-Neptunian planets or the Kuiper Belt. Before the International Astronomical Union changed it to a dwarf planet in August 2006, people usually thought of Pluto as the ninth planet from the Sun. In recent years, this topic has become the focus of intense discussion, and numerous inquiries aimed at gaining additional knowledge have been posed. NASA created the New Horizons spacecraft in order to investigate Pluto as well as its moons and other objects in the Kuiper Belt, which is a region of the solar system that stretches from approximately 30 astronomical units near Neptune's orbits to approximately 50 AU from the Sun. The spacecraft traveled for over 9 years, establishing a significant record as the first to encounter Pluto, which is a relic of the formation of the solar system. It has sent back frightening photographs of Pluto, which reveal something that has never been seen before. NASA's New Frontiers program is a series of medium-class missions guided by principal investigators. New Horizons was the first mission in this program and was selected through a competitive process. In addition to a cylindrical radioisotope thermoelectric generator that provided approximately 250 watts of power at launch, decaying to 200 watts by the time of the Pluto encounter after reaching an initial Earth orbit of around 105-130 miles, the design of the spacecraft was based on the Contour and Timed spacecraft, both of which were built by Johns Hopkins University's Applied Physics Laboratory. The Centaur on stage fired its engines for 9 minutes to place the cargo into an elliptical orbit that extended all the way to the asteroid belt. During a gravity assist maneuver in 2007, the spacecraft flew by Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system. This increased the spacecraft's velocity by around 9,000 miles per hour or 14,000 kilometers per hour, reducing the amount of time needed to reach Pluto by 3 years. In 2007, the spacecraft was put into a hibernation state. Nonetheless, the onboard computer of the spacecraft continued to monitor mission systems throughout this time, sending out unique codes to indicate whether or not activities were normal or aberrant during hibernation. The vast majority of New Horizons during the course of the expedition, critical systems were deactivated and restarted for no more than 2 months on average per year. This was done in preparation for the finding of 2 new moons around Pluto. Kerberos and Styx raised concerns about the presence of debris or dust near Pluto. If the amount of debris increased as the spacecraft approached Pluto, mission planners created 2 potential backup plans, one of which involved using the spacecraft's antenna as a shield, and the other involved flying closer to Pluto, where there may be less junk. At the time, it took a signal from the spacecraft 4 hours and 25 minutes to reach Earth. 2015 marked the beginning of the STAR spacecraft's approach phase to Pluto, during which time its trajectory was adjusted with an engine burn lasting 93 seconds. In the end, New Horizons got closer to Pluto than the distance between the Earth and the Sun just 2 days later, with nearly 4 months left until its close encounter in that same year. Images of Pluto started to display identifiable features with detail expanding week by week during the approach. The spacecraft was about 4.5 light hours away from Earth, and it could only send 1 or 2 kilobits of data every second. As a result, the transmission had to take place over an extended period of time. On board the New Horizons spacecraft are 7 scientific instruments that will be utilized to describe Pluto's global geology and geomorphology as well as its moon. Just above the surface of the moon and the other planets in the Pluto system is where you'll find Charon. The massive disk that can be seen to the right of the center of the smaller disk is Pluto. Because of the air, scientists were forced to significantly reevaluate their earlier simulations of the system. Haze and atmospheric escape rates that were lower than projected, Pluto is known to have seen significant shifts in its atmospheric pressure in the past, and its surface may have been covered in volatile liquids at one time. Their recent discoveries suggest that Pluto may have had an interior water-ice ocean on the surface. Stunning photographs revealed a gigantic heart-shaped nitrogen cloud on the surface. Images obtained from Charon have shown a significant equatorial extension tectonic band which suggests that there was once a water-ice ocean. NASA's New Horizons spacecraft has uncovered evidence of 2 cryovolcanoes on Pluto, which appear to be frozen ice volcanoes that previously flow molten ice from the dwarf planet's interior. The encounter with Pluto prompted mission planners to begin redirecting New Horizons for another flyby of MU-69, a Kuiper Belt object about 4 billion miles from Earth in 2019. The object was later given the official name Arrokoth. This discovery points to the existence of an internal heat source that, at some point in Pluto's past, melted interior stockpiles of volatile ices, such as nitrogen and methane, causing them to burst at the surface. It also demonstrates that Pluto utilized cryovolcanoes in order to replenish surface supplies of volatile ices, which ultimately evaporate into Pluto's thin atmosphere and are lost to space. The 2 teachers who were struck by lightning and given the names Wright Muntz and Pickard Munns are children. Mounds with rims that rise up to 5 or 6 kilometers above the surface are positioned just beyond the southernmost point of the smooth, glittering heart of Pluto. Sputnik Plenum, which has rims that extend more than 150 kilometers and ring holes that are nearly as deep as the mountains. According to Oliver White, a New Horizons scientist at the Mississippi State University Research Center, the shape of the object was unmistakably that of a volcano. When you see a gigantic mountain with a large hole in it, it typically implies one thing. Moore is of the opinion that any past eruptions that may have taken place a billion years ago would have resulted in the release of solid water ice rather than liquid water or water in flowing streams. The analogy he uses is that of toothpaste being squeezed out of a tube. According to Jeff Moore, a New Horizons scientist at NASA's Ames Research Center in Mountain View, California, the features would represent the solar system's first significant ice volcanoes. However, the team is not yet ready to declare the finding inevitable. Moore believes the volcanoes are more likely constructed of water ice because nitrogen and methane ices are too light to maintain such a massive towering structure. They do appear peculiar, and as a result we are keeping a close check on them. A Congress of the American Astronomical Society hosted a series of lectures and a press conference to present the findings, which were then made public. Moore is of the opinion that the volcanoes may release gases such as methane and nitrogen during the eruptions. In addition to molten water ice, he points out that volcanoes can be seen along the border of Sputnik Platinum, which is a deep basin that, according to him, may have been formed by a massive impact. After examining the images at the meeting, he hypothesized that the stress of such a collision may have opened up conduits in the frozen layer. A planetary scientist at the California Institute of Technology in Pasadena named David Stevenson, who was not engaged with the New Horizons mission, has stated that he is unsure as to whether or not the features are volcanoes. However, he feels that Pluto has enough residual heat from radioactive materials in its crust to cause cryovolcanism, despite the fact that there wasn't enough information to warrant an opinion based on what was presented. It was traditionally thought that UV radiation from the sun heated up air molecules, causing them to leap into space. However, the new haze molecules discovered on Pluto work as coolants for the atmosphere by absorbing part of the UV light's energy. This finding suggests that Pluto has retained much more nitrogen than was previously assumed. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to share and press the bell icon for more regular updates.